Hey sports fans, we're back, and today we're going to take a look at the insane workout routine and diet of one of the NFL's supernovas on defense, Myles Garrett. If you're unfamiliar with the Cleveland Browns defensive end, he's one of the premier pass rushers in the National Football League as one of its biggest freaks of nature and, well, one of its most chiseled. But how did Myles Garrett get miles ahead of most players in the NFL when it comes to physique? Stick around and find out. But first, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on our videos. All done? Alright, let's rock. When the Cleveland Browns selected Myles Garrett with the first pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, they were hoping to get a defensive stalwart that could help turn the franchise around after a string of disappointing seasons and underwhelming draft picks that transformed the team into one of the league's most dismal franchises. Fast forward to 4 years later, and the Browns are now in a position to both challenge for a division title and are even a dark horse candidate to make a run for the Lombardi Trophy. Most people credit Myles Garrett and his dominant presence on the gridiron as the anchor and the leader of the Browns defense for why they are good again and now one of the hotter teams in the league. But how does Myles stay so dominant, you ask? Well, for one, the dude trains like a freaking monster. Keep in mind, Garrett has said that his goal is to look like a Grecian god, and if you've ever seen him with his shirt off, he's not that far off. Inspired by Lou Ferrigno and bodybuilders from that era, Garrett takes his physique as seriously as anyone in the National Football League. Known by his teammates and coaches as a tireless workout machine, the defensive end has been known to work out up to a ridiculous 5 times a day. We've heard of 2-a-days or 3-a-days, but 5-a-days? Yup. Myles doesn't play around when it comes to his fitness, and to become one of the upper echelon pass rushers in the league, Myles tries to outwork the rest. Not only does he try to train longer, but the amount of weight he works out with on some of his exercises is also kind of absurd. In a bench press video Garrett released, we see him putting up 425 pounds a couple of times, like he could easily max out much more. In the same video, the dude is doing incline dumbbell presses using 100-pound dumbbells and lifting the things like they were 15 pounds. Another one of Garrett's exercises that shows off his freakish strength is the bent-over barbell rows with 3 plates on each side. The rows help Garrett get the pulling and pushing strength to toss 300-pound linemen like ragdolls and shed would-be blockers on his way to blow up a play. Garrett says the bent-over barbell rows helps him get linemen off of him easier and helps him attack them in a variety of ways so he's less predictable to block when he's trying to stop the pass or the run. After some barbell rows, Garrett rolls into a landmine press and catch. This falls into the category of you might not want to try this at home, folks, as it requires you to do exactly what the exercise is called, pressing the barbell by pushing it away from your body and then catching it. Not only does it help upper body explosiveness, but it also works the core and helps with the stability. Garrett says the landmine press and catch helps him be able to press offensive linemen and other blockers out of the gap. The exercise allows him to hit people with what he calls the long arm, where he's able to get under an offensive lineman's armpits or hit him in his chest to get them off of him and get the quarterback or the ball carrier. Even if Garrett isn't able to make the tackle or get the pressure, being able to disrupt offensive linemen with moves like these frees up Garrett's teammates to make plays he cannot. Another one of Myles Garrett's favorite exercises is the battle rope alternative waves, which is a great way for Garrett to build his upper body while working his core and building his endurance and quicker hands. As Garrett puts it, his rope work really feels like conditioning for his arms so they won't get worn down over the course of the game. Garrett can do this exercise with what looks like relative ease, but he says it shreds his upper body and is one of the exercises that lets him see the most results. To get results on the football field, it requires more than just strength, and one of Myles' biggest objectives when he trains is to strengthen his core, as he claims that it's the most important area of his body and kind of helps everything else properly fit into place and function properly. As you will notice, a lot of these exercises involves Myles' core, and one of his go-to core workouts is the half-kneeling rotational medicine ball slams. Garrett's core helps build that stability he needs to bend the edge and get to the quarterback or ball carrier. If his core isn't strong, it makes it more difficult for him to transfer all of that lower body energy and power into his upper body. Garrett places an emphasis on his core strength and says that he needs to have a core that is strong as possible because once his core gets tired, everything else breaks down. For the explosive portion of Garrett's workout, he uses a variety of exercises. One of his go-tos is jumping medicine ball slams using a heavy medicine ball and does as many reps of these as he can until fail. Other explosive workouts for Garrett include box jumps holding 40-pound dumbbells in each hand, which you almost have to see to believe. The box itself is about 3 feet tall, and Garrett makes it look like he could clear a few more inches holding those dumbbells with ease. Without the dumbbells in hand, Garrett ups his box jumps to 5 feet and has even cleared 64 inches. At the combine, Garrett left 41 inches, so we know the dude could fly, but it still doesn't make it any less incredible to see a dude his size sky 64 inches on top of a box that's coming up to the lower part of Myles' chest. Myles also likes to get in some heavy squats, and by heavy we mean close to 700 pounds, which he makes look relatively easy. People critique his squat form as they say he uses mostly his back, which makes us wonder how much this freak could lift with a proper form. Myles is one of the most athletic defensive linemen in the league, and although he may not be known for being a speed rusher because of his Hulk-like size, Garrett does have wheels. drills. At the Combine and his pro day, Garrett ran times of 4.61 and 4.57 in the 40-yard dash, respectively, which skyrocketed his draft stock. Garrett attributes his speed to his explosive training and his work on the field and many other drills he does. Conditioning is a huge part of Myles' game, as he knows he's got to be able to give the same effort for all 4 quarters and doesn't like to leave the field, so he puts in a tremendous amount of work to ensure this. After some sprints and tempo runs, Garrett gets into a few of the drills that helps him destroy offensive linemen at will to rack up double-digit sacks and the many pressures he's consistently generating since entering the league in 2017. One of the ways Garrett generates so much pressures and wreaks so much havoc on offenses is his ability to bend the edge. The body control tennis ball drill he does allows him to simulate getting underneath and around a blocker while simultaneously being able to curve towards where he expects the quarterback to be. Even though Garrett is a large man at around 6'4" and over 270 pounds, he has exceptional bend. The drill requires the stability that comes from having an extremely strong core and a lot of fluidity and coordination in Garrett's movements, and this drill has become a staple of his because it helps him master his athleticism. When it comes to Myles' diet, you may be a little surprised by what this behemoth consumes. When he's trying to cut weight because he's feeling a little sluggish, his diet consists of 2 snacks a day, a ton of water, and 1 extremely large high-calorie meal, and that's about it. When he's in his eat anything and add lean muscle with a little bulk mode, he'll eat a very large breakfast usually consisting of French toast, a large omelet, and some fruit. Garrett isn't big on lunch and says he only needs 2 meals a day with some snacking in between. For dinner, Garrett usually consumes steak and ribs, and if he's got practice the next day, then it's 2 or 3 stacks, a tomahawk steak, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. As you can see, Garrett's appetite is gargantuan, and he's okay with not being the cleanest eater, saying that life is short, and if you want to eat pizza or ice cream, or have a Cinnabon, or 6, that you should go for it, and he will sit down and eat all that good stuff with you. Alright, sports fans, that's it for our time on Myles Garrett and his insane diet and exercise. The 25-year-old sack monster is easily one of the most gifted athletes in all of football, and his workout routine is the stuff of legend and how he plans on creating a legacy that he hopes leads to the Hall of Fame. Let us know what you think about Myles' diet and exercise by dropping us a comment below, and as always, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do me a favor and click that button so you can stay up to date on all of our content and more videos just like this. Until next time, sports fans.